Luke 24, we get a picture of Jesus with those first disciples after his resurrection. And in some sense, this is the picture for our lives of what it means to be a disciple of Jesus, that we're walking the road to Emmaus. And what's interesting about the picture that Luke paints for us is the fact that at one moment, they didn't know who Jesus was. But when you get towards the end of the passage, it tells us that their hearts were warmed. Why? Not by information that was given to them, but in the breaking of the bread, in the act of worship, in what the church has come to know as the Eucharistic celebration. So in some sense, coming to know Jesus is something you do in the act of worship. There are two ways to think about worship. One is the more you learn, the more you, say, study theology, the more you hear very good sermons, over time, that this knowledge will actually result in worship, in prayer, in adoration. There's another way to think about it. It's the more historic way that the church has thought about it. As you engage the liturgy, as you engage in prayer, as you commune with God in Jesus Christ, let's say in the Eucharist, over time, this actually shapes your theology. It shapes what you begin to know about God. And this idea is actually summed up in the Latin maxim, lex orandi, lex credendi, or praying shapes believing, or the rule of prayer shapes and even spurs on the rule of faith and belief. The goal of EmmausViaCanterbury.com is to help Christians and even those who are considering Christianity walk the road to Emmaus. Except the slight detour that we're going to take is we're going to walk the road to Emmaus via the Canterbury Trail, via historic Anglicanism, which is a phenomenal representation of the one holy Catholic and apostolic tradition that takes to heart lex orandi, lex credendi. Praying shapes believing, or praying spurs on belief. And this actually is the one thing that's changed my life as a Christian. Emmaus Via Canterbury actually is going to house new resources about the Anglican tradition and the one holy Catholic and apostolic faith. It's also going to curate resources that are available around the web. Now you notice that there are a number of different ways to navigate around this website. One is the discovery bar that's located at the bottom of the page. This allows you to journey through a cathedral and learn more about the architecture within this tradition as it houses these resources that we're going to provide. Another way is, once you've learned your way around the site, if you just want to jump to a specific spot in the site, you notice the upper right-hand corner has a way that echoes the navigation at the bottom of the page. But for those of you who want to explore this site via the lex orandi, lex credendi tradition, you'll notice that there's two words on the upper left-hand corner of the site. Praying shapes believing. By hitting one of those buttons, you'll actually be able to venture through all the theology associated with either praying or believing. So I hope this was a helpful introduction to the website. I'm Matthew Paul Bucheri, and EmmausViaCanterbury.com welcomes you.